Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch. This week we are doing a time hop for the first week of September 2013, 14, and 15. So let's take a look at what was going on this week, those past 3 years. Now, this time in 2013, Disney Springs was not officially announced yet, and actually no construction really had started just yet either, but in Pleasure Island, a lot of the stores have been shut down, lots of the restaurants have been closed, and construction walls were popping up all around Pleasure Island, and only a few things were still there, such as Paradiso 37, and also the Irish-themed restaurant as well. Now, this picture here is a sign that was placed up where, if you look closely, you might recognize this. This is where the entrance is now to Morimoto Asia. So where this sign is now, there are stairs, and you can walk up those stairs and go into the entrance of that restaurant, which is beautiful inside. And right across from that is where the new bridge is that takes you into the new expanded area of Town Center, which is of course with Disney Springs. So this picture here, it's definitely interesting to see because of course this area has now changed so much in just a short amount of time of 3 years. Now this shot here is to the right of that, and you can see straight ahead where that construction wall is in the distance. That is now where the Hangar Bar is located, one of my favorite places, if not my favorite place, to get drinks at Walt Disney World now. Amazing drinks. The bedtime story is something you have to have. But this area here is, of course, now to the right of it is the Irish restaurant, and that is still there. And of course, that has seen some changes, but it mostly is the same. But of course, to the left, up ahead, was where the Harley Davidson store was located. That has, of course, now since moved over to West Side, but it used to be located at Pleasure Island for a short time. Now this shot here is looking towards West Side. On the right hand side you have Paradiso 37, of course before its refurbishment and expansion, and then on the left hand side the construction walls, that is now where there's like the sunglass stores, and there's also the ganachery, which is great, but this whole area has changed. The pathway is still there, but of course the groundwork has changed, and up ahead on the left now that's where STK is, and on the right hand side that is where the Edison is soon to be opening. It's still under construction, still got a little bit of way to go, but this area here, it's just, again, so crazy how it's changed. Now behind where this photo was taken is, of course, where the Boathouse restaurant is located now, but of course at that time, nothing was over there. Now headed over to the Magic Kingdom, again, still in 2013, but when you look at these photos here, you can't tell that they were taken in 2013 because the decor and decorations all around the Magic Kingdom have not changed in years. Now this is something that I like the decor, but I personally wish they would change it up and really just make it different each year, because we have a lot of guests that come a lot, and of course it's nice to see new innovative things and detailed stuff, and I just feel like this is not really happening on Main Street USA when it comes to the Halloween decor, or fall decor I should say. So I wish it would be changed up a bit. I understand that you have lots of guests that come this time of year that haven't been before and don't come a lot, so it's still very new to them. But it would be nice for those who, for those that are local and that go to the parks a lot, to be able to see stuff change and evolve, and just kind of, look forward to new things when they come into the parks to look for. And I'm not saying to throw all this stuff away and forget about it, because I know that these things have, memories tied to them for those families that have come year after year and seen these decorations this time of year. So I don't want to get rid of it completely, but I think it'd be nice to add some new elements to the decorations for this time of year, as well as around Christmas time as well, because they do the same thing for Christmas. So in the comments below, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are on the Halloween decorations that are used every year in the Magic Kingdom Park and around Walt Disney World. Now this temporary stage called the Galaxy Stage was only there for the Night of Joy event that was going on in 2013. Night of Joy is a private ticketed event that you can buy a ticket to that lets you enjoy Christian rock music and contemporary Christian music. A lot of youth church groups go there to this event. This year it was held at ESPN Wide World Sports Complex and not the Magic Kingdom for the first time. Now there used to be a permanent stage here though. A lot of you watching this probably remember that. There used to be a permanent stage here that they had daily performances on, all kinds of different character shows and just music bands would perform here. It was between the Carousel of Progress and also well, of course, back then it was not Buzz Lightyear, but between these two buildings, that stage was here, and they took it away, I want to say, in early 2000s, mid-2000s, and it's been gone for a while now. It's just a backstage area and pretty much a parking lot, so they don't use it anymore for temporary stages or performances back there. It's all now just a backstage area. but there used to be a real stage back there, which is pretty interesting. I remember seeing it a couple of times when I was a young kid. Over in New Fantasyland, you can see they started building the entrance to the queue of the Seven Dwarfs mine train. And here's some other shots of that building. It was pretty much all the rock work was all finishing up. They were finishing up with that, but they had not started painting or putting plants or anything like that, or testing yet. The track was still not 100% complete, but it definitely was moving along and progressing, as you can see here. I like this shot because you can see the facade, the rock work, the fake rock work, but then you can also see a lot of the actual building infrastructure of the building from this picture here. So I like these shots. This is kind of cool. Of course, you won't see this anymore since the building is now finished. And here's a shot of the construction wall in the front of Princess Fairytale Hall. It was still under construction, but it looked like it was almost finished. It's hard to believe it's been 3 years since the Starbucks location in Epcot opened up. Fountain View used to be Fountain View Bakery, and now it's just Fountain View, and it's the Starbucks location for this park, and it fits in perfectly in Future World, and has some great views of the fountain and of course of Spaceship Earth as well. And you can duck in here to get some air conditioning and of course grab a refreshing drink. This week also in 2013 was the reopening of the California Grill on top of the Contemporary Resort, which provides beautiful views of Seven Seas Lagoon and of course of the Magic Kingdom Park. And if you want to see great fireworks, this is the place to go. Or should I say, get a great view of some great fireworks. This is the place to go. This is the California Grill as it's been reimagined, and it's very popular. And I've never eaten here before, but the menu looks great. And of course, the restaurant is beautiful. I think it has definitely evolved over the years. I love looking at old pictures of this place when it opened up in the 70s, and of course, it changed for the 80s. And the style here definitely kind of reflect and put some influences from the past into the new design. Of course, now it's been 3 years, but it's still beautiful and timeless. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below and let me know what your favorite menu item is at the California Grill, or what your favorite memory is of this place. Now let's jump to 2014 in Tomorrowland. Some of you might remember this. They had a major refurbishment happen at Astro Orbiters. They actually took out the entire attraction, all that stuff, all the planets, everything. The infrastructure of the ride was completely removed, and I'm not sure if they just refurbished everything and brought it back, or if they just got new stuff and put it there, but it looked the same after it was all done. But definitely a lot, they had serious paint jobs and it was great. I mean, it looks fantastic still, but this was a huge thing. I remember coming into the park one day and not seeing anything on top of the People Mover station there, and I freaked out. I didn't know what was going on. I thought something happened, but it was just gone for a major refurbishment, and I had never seen that happen before. They had this huge crane there. Of course, it was not being done during the day. All the pieces were brought back and put into place during the night, so of course guests would not see, and of course there was no safety issues with that. But this crane was still left here during the day, turned off, and who knows, we'll probably see this happen again years from now, and I'll take lots of pictures when it happens again, that is for sure. Leaving Tomorrowland towards the castle and the hub, you can see the hub expansion was in full swing and a lot of construction was going on over there. One last thing to look at in 2014, over at Universal Orlando and City Walk, you can see above the pizza restaurant that they were building the outdoor area for the Cowfish restaurant. The Cowfish restaurant, of course, is now since opened and become very popular and won many awards for its food and atmosphere. So if you haven't been there, check it out, that is for sure. But it's a huge restaurant, and they actually used to have a Starbucks up here, and that Starbucks was closed, moved downstairs, which is a lot easier to get to now, and now it's all part of the Cowfish restaurant. We're going to start 2015 over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, taking a look here where the Star Wars launch bay is now located. This was when it was still in the very early stages of being built. The outside exterior building, it was just painted, that was all. It just had a paint job, no logos on it yet, but of course they did have concept art around the building. Alright, so moving on, taking a look at this picture here, it's kind of hard to look at, and it gets even harder as we go through more pictures, but this is all gone now. What we're looking at here, most of this is just completely gone and leveled because they are constructing the Toy Story Land here. So if you come in this area of the park now, you'll just see a construction wall with concept art for the Toy Story Land. And when that opens up, don't get me wrong, it's going to be great, I'm sure. And I love Toy Story, I love that whole franchise. But it is hard to look at this because I love the studio backlot tour. I loved walking through here. I miss that big Coca-Cola bottle that used to mist everyone. That felt so great on a hot summer day, and I remember playing underneath that when I was a kid, and I know that's probably gone and who knows where it's at now, but I hope it's not trashed. But it is gone. It's hard to look at this, but of course we have to look to the future and expand the park. Now this huge retail space here for the Star Wars merchandise, this was the last thing to occupy this space before they went ahead and stopped having guests come back here, and of course now this is all gone as well. This whole building is completely demolished and leveled. So I never realized going in that store that day to take these pictures. That was my last time going in there. And I remember walking through this because this used to be the experience you'd walk through after you got off the studio tour. So this was like the exit of the studio tour. It was I believe, AFI museum. So it's kind of, again, bittersweet to see this. It's exciting to see what's going to happen with all this space and the Star Wars land and the Toy Story land. But of course, a lot of memories are now just gone for good. Now this was not my last time though, being able to walk through the streets of America. I came back here multiple times before they blocked off the streets. I was able to enjoy the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights one last time as well. And taking these pictures in the beginning of September last year, it was really cool to see them already setting up for the Spectacle of Dancing Lights. Construction teams and Imagineers were already out there putting the lights up and making sure they were secured and plugged in. And it's so interesting how they started, in the beginning of September, even before September, doing this for an event that didn't start until November. And it's going to be very, very missed this year. It's going to be sad not to have that at Walt Disney World. I hope it does make a return somewhere in the parks, either at Epcot or at Disney's Animal Kingdom, but I'm sure it'd probably look better at Epcot. I said this last year, if y'all have a place that you'd like to see this appear in the parks, and it might not even have to be a Disney park, if you think it'd look good at SeaWorld or Universal, comment below if you're watching this on YouTube and let me know where you'd like to see the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights return. Now, I grabbed this picture over at the Magic Kingdom last year of the construction going on at the Skipper Canteen. Of course, now it has since opened. It is a wonderful restaurant. I really enjoy it. I love the atmosphere, the storytelling going on. The cast members' personalities there are just like the ones on the boats at the ride. And the food is not too shabby either. I love the food. So if you have not checked this out yet, go ahead and make reservations to dine at the Skipper Canteen on your next visit. And to wrap things up for this edition of Time Hop, we are looking at the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. This time last year, it was closed for refurbishments, but of course this year is open, so you can go enjoy it right now if you'd like to, depending on when you're watching this. And at the time it was closed, they did have cast members outside doing interactions with children and guests, playing games, and doing pin trading. Well, that will do it for this edition of Photo Finds. Until next time, make sure you subscribe to Attractions Magazine, and of course, make sure you get out, you have fun, and you enjoy those parks.